to another Isolab Creations video. Don't really have an intro or anything like that, but this will do. I would also like to give a shout out to Pure Unintentional ASMR for featuring on my videos. It was very unexpected, but thanks for that. Now, I've had a lot of questions regarding to cross stitching, and I thought that it would be a good idea to just do a whole project in front of the camera. Use my fingers. So I got this kit here. So this is basically more for beginners or someone who's wants to try out the technique that I use. So this is a very good one for a beginner. So sometimes I do get asked what's a good beginner project, and what you're looking for is something with very little color changes. This one here has about 4 or 5 on it. If you're a very beginner to anything stitch relating, I'd probably go for 2 or 3 colors, but this one is still a pretty good beginner project. So this is all going to be very non-edited. I'm just going to do this kit in front of the camera, and I think people probably could learn best by observation. That's how I learn things the best. Sometimes explaining things through messages or emails are very difficult. So a typical kit like this will come with the cloth. So this is a 14 count. So that just basically means there's 14 squares in an inch. It comes with the coloured threads that you need. This one comes with a needle, not all of them comes with a needle, which is good. And usually there's instructions. So as you can see, I have not opened this at all. This was gifted to me on Christmas Day, so thank you for giving this to me. The person who gave it to me, you know who you are. I don't want to name names. Yeah, so here's the guide as well. So I don't really do things, I guess, as per instructions. That's not really how I do things. But at least you'll get to see how I start a project. So usually with my projects, it's like I've already started it, and a lot of the times just for demonstration purposes of a technique that I use, or that someone asks me how I do something. But I thought if I just start a project from scratch, then at least you just get to see the whole process. So this one isn't very complicated. I have had questions about changing colours if it changes a lot. So you will see some of that in here as well. So typically they do ask to find the centre of the what's it called? Of the pattern on the cloth, and a lot of times I say to start at the center, and I don't really do that. I will find the center, but then I will count to the sides, and I will start on one side and head towards whatever direction I want. Yeah, I don't really like following instructions, as I said. So we recommend starting stitching from the center. No, I'm not going to do that. Yes, you can probably read that there. So what's important here is to use 2 strands of cotton, unless stated otherwise. Never knot your thread. That is very important. Not that my technique would ever have you knot the thread anyway. So this will say to put the tail secure at the back, but for those of you who have already seen my videos, I actually secure it in the front so that the front and the back are both neat. So here the navy back stitch is the only one that's 1 strand. So that would be these bits here, and everything else would be, that's that one there. That's the navy back stitch. 1 strand, and that one there will be 2 strands anyway. Okay, that's all I need to know. Going through the whole process. I'm going to be speaking out loud as well, so you know what's going through my head as I'm cross stitching, because sometimes self-taught talk also, I don't know, might help someone. Just getting all the contents out. So I'm doing all this by looking at the camera, which is not how I usually do things when I cross stitch. There you go. As you can see, this is a very, very small project. Very, very small piece of cloth. So this is perfect for a beginner. And here, this grid is almost as big as this. So that's also good for a beginner because it'll just be easier for you to match things. So what I typically do, I grab a pencil. That's not very sharp. This one here. And I will count how wide and tall the actual pattern is. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. So right here, 37. And then I'll do plus 2 because there's a border of 2. And here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. That's 36. Now that has plus 3 top and 2 bottom. That way I know how big top and bottom, how big it is, so when I count it on my cloth I know where I want it. And here's our cloth. So I will find the center but not necessarily start at the center, but that is my own personal preference. Sometimes the center of a design, well, this one isn't really the case because this one has just the one color, but usually a center of design is like, I guess, the busy area, and for me I prefer to do it as per where it's more convenient. So even here I probably would start with the eyes, but as a beginner that might be a little bit too complicated to start at the eyes, because then you'd have to know where you're actually going to start. So now I'm just going to find the center, and you can do that by folding or by counting, whatever's your preference. This isn't a perfect square, but and once you get started then it'll be a lot quicker. It will take a bit of time to get started. So with this video I'll probably just have me just starting it off, and then I'll continue on another video. I'll just break it up because my internet isn't that fast to upload a really long video. So that's about the center. I don't know if you can see on camera. For me it's hard to see. I do like to mark it with a pencil a little bit. So this is 5B. I usually use a 3B, but I think more than a 2B is good to mark on fabrics, I find. And now I'll count. So 36, I will do half of that, so what's that, 18? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'll just do a mark on the 18th one. We don't want to do it above because that's going to be a white spot. Do it same here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So this gives a lot of room anyway. Usually that will give us a bigger cloth than what you needed. 37, so that's a half one. So that's going to be 18 plus 1. So I'll do 19 and this we'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that's basically, I don't know if you can see, got little dots there. So I know that the design will fit there. There's plenty of room on the outside, so I know that I'm not going to venture off the cloth. A really bad thing is to start cross stitching and then get to an edge and realize that your design won't continue. But usually with kits they give you plenty of room. You do want to give a bit of a border. It really depends on what you're going to do with the design. I usually do practical designs instead of framed ones. I know a lot of people frame cross stitching designs, so these ends would just be folded and stitched and then put in the frame. You can also add it to clothes as an applique or whatever, bags. I usually have an intention, like with the baby blanket I made, I had the intention of doing cross stitching on that, and also the previous video I had where I was doing the butterfly, that's to put on a pillow. So now I just choose where I want to start. So here is probably a good thing. I really like doing edges first because that gives me a very good guide to the pattern. If I'm going from the center outwards, then I have to constantly be looking at the pattern. And for those of you who know me, I don't usually follow patterns. And so if I can follow a pattern the least amount as possible, that's what I do. But you do what's comfortable for you. If you like doing it on the center, do it in the center. But if you want to try out doing it on the edge, you can try out doing it on the edge. So here, so I want to do this stitch here first. So from the top will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's exactly what I'm going to count here. So that's the 18th one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'll do that again. It's hard to do it on camera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then I just go across here. And I know it's that spot there. Just there because I already marked that one there, so I know. I'll start there. And that corresponds well as well with the pattern. So here's that dot. And we go up same amount. So I know I'm on track. So that's just me marking the cloth and finding where I'm going to start. So in the next video, I'll actually start cross stitching, and that way it's broken up and you can watch whichever video is more relevant to you, or if you want to come back to it, at least you can find the relevant steps. So that's it for this video, and see you in the next video. Bye.